Hello and welcome to the Unbusy Challenge Q&A call. And my name is Rosalind C. Raindancer from the Conscious CEO Experience. And today we have Dr. Kayvon K of Soul Focus. He is a simplifier and a certified productivity coach. Definitely I would consider Vancouver's go-to productivity expert. He is trained by Ari Maisal, which is one of the world's top productivity coaches, certified by him. And so I'm so excited to have you here, Dr. Kayvon.
Hello, thank you.
So what we're going to do today is have Dr. K speak for 10 minutes on the topic, which is efficiency versus effectiveness. How to do more of the right things and in less time, right?
Yes.
And then after this presentation, it's going to be about 10 minutes. So lots of really helpful and practical content that you can apply to your business. I will actually ask you, Kayvon, some questions that I received from our participants who could not be here today, but I've got 3 questions that are frequently asked.
Okay.
And you may have come across them as well. So we'll do about 10 minutes of Q&A and then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
Sounds good? Okay.
Let's do this. But let me ask you a question first. When you saw that title, efficiency versus effectiveness, what were your thoughts? What were your first reactions to that?
Are you asking me the question?
Yeah.
Well, the thing that strikes me the most about that is that there is, in fact, a difference, and that maybe I'm not clear on what the difference is.
Mm-hmm.
So, commonsensically speaking, it's probably obvious that there's a difference.
Yes.
But I'm not clear on what the difference is. And most of the time, I'm actually more focused on being efficient than being effective. So,
okay. So what does that mean? Focusing on being more efficient. What does that mean to you?
Being more efficient?
Yeah.
Being more efficient is achieving what I need to get done. Less time.
Okay.
Right?
So faster.
Faster, better.
Mm-hmm.
And the effectiveness piece is more around, it may not be efficient,
yes.
right? But it works, right?
Yes.
And so the ideal scenario for me in terms of business is, how can I get both?
Exactly. Obviously, the ideal situation is how we can have both. But if you had to choose one, which one would you choose?
I would choose being effective.
Effective. I'm so glad you said that, because that's my choice too. If I had to choose. But the ideal situation is to get both. Well, thank you for that. And it's very similar to the first conversation that I have with people about this topic and the difference between the two. And same thing that went through my mind when I was thinking about the difference. And it is this approach, I find it very interesting that how there are certain approaches or certain words that we use them as if they mean the same thing or they are synonymous, but they are really not. I call myself a simplifier, but simple not necessarily means easy. Something can be very simple but not easy. The example that I always use is losing extra weight, extra fat. It is a very simple concept to be fit. It is eat less, move more. Nothing complicated, only 2 steps and they go hand in hand. But it is not easy. It is hard to do. And there are so many reasons for that, but we understand the difference. On the other hand, just because something can be complex does not mean it's hard. An example is driving. Driving a car is a very complex task. Uses four of our limbs and our senses. We're looking into multiple mirrors and the windshield in front of us and listening to things. It's a very complex task, but guess what? Everybody's doing it. So many people are doing it, and we're doing it with ease. We can even multitask when we're driving, right? People talk on the phone or text and this and that. So if we can do that at the same time, it means it's an easy task, but it's not complex. It's not, hard. And business is like that too. It has a lot of simple concepts in it, but yet implementation is the tricky part, makes it hard. And so approaching things like that and making those distinctions and clarifying ideas is what I enjoy the most, as far as like an intellectual practice and also conversation and helping our clients with growth of their business. So today I'm so glad we're talking about effective and efficiency. This is indeed a very important one for me. So I am going to start sharing my screen and start the presentation. So give me a second. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, and I will start the presentation. It should become a full screen thing. Do you see it now?
Yes.
Excellent. So, welcome to this presentation, put together with Soul Focus and Conscious CEO, Kayvon and Rosalind. And let's get started. Today, our focus is about entrepreneurial effectiveness and how we can, as you said, have both effectiveness and efficiency in our business. The idea that we're going to talk about is making that clear distinction between what is effective and what is efficient. And we said this already, but just to repeat it here, effectiveness is about doing things in a way that they make an impact. They make something different, and they make a difference. And efficiency is about how we are doing them, as in faster or better or more, one of these. So there are two different things, and they both need to exist in our business. Yet beside their difference in their nature, there is another difference that they have, and that's where you can find them or you should apply them. To me, effectiveness is about people. It is people who, by more engagement, by more focus, by more clarity, they will become more effective. They are the energy, the source behind making a difference. That's people and their engagement, and that's where effectiveness resides, and we should focus on. But when we talk about efficiency, we're talking about systems, as in protocols, as in software, as in flowcharts, and that sort of thing. So efficiency is not for human beings, it's for machines, and it's for systems. We're not robots. What we need to work on for ourselves is effectiveness. As you can see on the title on top, it's of entrepreneurial effectiveness, not efficiency. On the other hand, it's business efficiency and not necessarily effectiveness. Effectiveness of a business is always tied to the people in the business. It's the story behind the business or other things. And which one comes first? If I am starting my business, or if I want to improve my business, where do I start? Do I start with efficiency or effectiveness? Well, my idea is effectiveness always comes first, then efficiency. It's about finding out what are the right things to do, and then do the right things better. So that is the order, and those are the places that these two ideas are applied. So, in other words, if I want to explain that idea, everything that we have to do in our business, personal or systems, first we have to make it work, then we make it work better, then we make it work faster. As you can see, making it work is about something that wasn't there, now it's there. An impact wasn't being made, now it's being made. A difference is now being made over there with the results that we create. And that's where a lot of the work is manual, and also people are involved in doing that part of it. And in the process of making it better and making it faster, it's about narrowing down on the target or creating more, faster, better, that kind of a thing. So that is the process, making it work better, making it work faster. This is the main impact on the business side of it. But for entrepreneurial effectiveness, we should always start with simplifying the task for ourselves, because at the end of the day, we are interested in creating results. But there is this leap that has to happen between simplicity to results. And this is how they're connected. We just don't simplify for the sake of simplifying. We simplify our tasks and our projects and our work and our message to get clarity. And one of the greatest byproducts of clarity is the confidence that it creates in us, because when we are chaotic, when the work is chaotic and when we are not really clear about what we need to do, nothing motivates us to take action and go for it. Lack of confidence. But clarity brings confidence for us, which leads to action, which creates the results. So this is the whole process of creating results in our business, and end up being both effectiveness and efficiency at the end. So for a person, so making it work better, making it work faster, what was for the business. For a person, it's like this: simplify so you get to your focus, to your flow. And as far as results, it's about getting clarity so we can have confidence, so we can create results. And that's the natural order of it. And as I said, these two are what's happening to you, the entrepreneur. So this is the review of the same idea. I'll just quickly review it again. We simplify to get clarity. Clarity gives us confidence. Confidence moves us to take action and create results. They may not be optimum results, but that's how results are created. And the process of making it work better and faster, the efficiency part, is about creating better and better results. Now, if I want to visually compare the two, the effectiveness and efficiency, let's say the work that I have to do and the results that I'm going to get, how they're going to be impacted differently with effectiveness or efficiency. When it comes to effectiveness, we have a work and we create the results. It's kind of like a one-to-one relationship. Something wasn't there, now it's there. Something wasn't put together, now it's put together. The results are being created. But when it comes to efficiency, it's not about that. It's about, with little amount of work, get bigger results, get faster results, get more results. So this is another good representation of how the two work together. Now, putting it into words, effectiveness is about doing the right things. Efficiency, on the other hand, is about doing things right. And again, we're getting to that area of that they sound very similar, but that's the main difference. Effectiveness is about doing the right things. Efficiency is about doing things right. So if you put them in a matrix, as you can see, on the left side and lower side, we have the low efficiency and effectiveness. On the right side, we have high or above. So if we are in the lower part of efficiency and effectiveness, that's what we get. If we have more efficiency but lower effectiveness, we end up doing things right. And if we have low efficiency by high effectiveness, we are in the doing the right things, and that's where we want to be, on the top right corner, with high efficiency and high effectiveness to do the right things right.
This is actually the highlight of the presentation.
Mm-hmm. And the result of that is like this. So to remind ourselves which is which, if we are in the low part, that's the result that we're going to get. We're going to die slowly, or the business. If we have efficiency but not much effectiveness, we're just keeping our head over water. It's survival mode. If we just focus on effectiveness and not efficiency, we will die a lot faster. So on the top right is the thrive zone, which is you end up with having both. And yeah, those are all the things that I want to explain today. I guess a good use of time.
Sure. Well, let's do the Q&A because
Yes.
I have 3 questions that was sent to me. And I want to make sure I cover them. Before I go there,
yes,
I would like to comment on the fact that thank you for shedding light on the really actually big difference between efficiency and effectiveness.
Yes.
And how, as you know, some of us are, beginning entrepreneurs at the start of our business, that it's really important to focus on becoming effective first, right? And then sharpen the efficiency piece.
Correct.
So that's really helpful because what I see a lot of entrepreneurs go through is something called, they actually want to become more efficient prematurely, right?
Yes.
They think that, oh, if I just work on being more efficient, if I work on, my quote time management or creating systems, then, it will get me to where I want to go faster.
Yes.
But if they haven't figured out what the right way to do something is, which is the efficiency piece, then, it's
effectiveness piece.
It's premature.
Yes.
So that's a really good point. And with the quadrant, can you put that up again, please? Because, it's something to pay attention to, even for myself and for everyone listening, is to really see yourself. Where are you in the quadrant? You can do a little self-evaluation as to where you are. And I know that for me, my own self-evaluation is actually somewhere, I would say I'm somewhere between doing things right and doing the right things. I don't think I'm in the green zone by any means. I'm probably somewhere in the middle and trying to get to the green zone, right?
My guess is, like many other entrepreneurs, we switch back and forth between doing the right things and doing things right.
Yeah, like those two.
Yes.
Yeah, and it seems to be this kind of seesaw,
Yes, correct.
So this is really helpful. I want to put this up, and let's take 3 minutes to address some of the frequently asked questions that I've been getting.
Yes, I'm ready.
With regard to the Unbusy Challenge. Now, the first question is more of a response, and I hear this a lot, and that is, hey, I really want to do the Unbusy Challenge. I want to really benefit from these tips and strategies, but I'm too busy to do it.
That is a lower left quadrant, because it's
10 minutes a day
we are busy.
Yeah.
Well, it's very simple. How bad do you want it?
Right.
It's about moving to the right quadrant. Have this printed. I guess we can share this picture with everyone. Have this printed, put it on the wall, and see how bad do you want to get into the green zone. So starting with those baby steps in the Unbusy Challenge, because that's what they are. They are really short baby steps. About 10 minutes a day is enough to watch the video and implement the idea, or even 15 minutes. We all have that much time. So just do it.
Perfect. Yeah, and I would echo what you said. And, really 10 minutes a day, what I found is it actually helped me recover about 10 hours that I would normally use being inefficient and ineffective.
There we go.
So, yeah, definitely worth the time. Now, there is one of the tips from the Unbusy Challenge was the DDD, if you recall, right?
Yes.
That was probably the most entertaining tip ever. And the last piece of the D, so it's do it, defer it, or delegate. Now, there's a question about delegation, and that is, when is a good time to delegate? And
Now,
this person is saying that, sometimes when they delegate too early, it ends up being more of a hassle and
yes,
to supervise the person more.
correct.
So when is a good time to delegate?
Well, the good time to delegate is
right
now, so as soon as possible, right? And the right way of delegation is that you have to do the work of really, really defining a task for anybody to see that. First of all, you review your process and find out what are all of the extra steps that don't need to be there, and really optimize the task for yourself or anybody who's going to do it. And after that, you write those steps in a manual format that you can share with the person who is going to do that for you. Yes, at the beginning, they may not really understand what you're saying, but going back and forth with that one-pager document, which is your manual of doing the task, would make it easier. And it's a skill that you can pick up. At the beginning, you may not be able to communicate well over writing that manual or optimizing it. So start with something small and simple, like social media posts and this and that, because you also need to pick up that skill of optimizing it and creating a manual and delegating it to somebody else. So you're new to this. It's going to be a little bit awkward at the beginning, but by no means this is a reason not to do it, because you don't want to manage other people. It is not them, it is that optimization and the manual that you're going to create so they can do it properly.
I see. Yeah. So what you're saying, Kayvon, is it's important to know what the steps are first.
Yes.
Right. And what needs to be done, even if you don't know how to be more efficient at it. It's important to know so that you can actually tell someone else
yes,
how to do it and the steps required.
Yes.
Okay. So we have time for one more question.
Yes.
And this person is asking about how do I eliminate distractions when I'm working on the computer? So, these days we do a lot of work on the computer, whether it's marketing or writing certain articles or even speaking with our clients. We do everything on the computer.
Yes.
So what are some of your tips for eliminating distractions while working on the computer?
Well, to be able to give a practical answer, the next question that I have is, or the first question that I have is, well, what are the distractions?
Right.
And the general answer to all of them is turn them off. Right. If we have the email application going, and every time there is an email coming, it beeps or rings with a notification. While you're working on something, turn that off. Same thing goes with anything else that has a notification. It could be your phone for ringing, or text messages or emails that they're coming. Facebook makes sounds. Everything else is trying to get your attention. So any kind of notification, turn them off. If your work really doesn't need internet, disconnect the internet. If you have extra applications running, turn them, close them, shut them down, close them, and have only on the screen the one thing that you're working on. Sometimes the icons on the desktop can be distracting, so working in a full screen on your one application is very helpful. Sometimes distraction are people who come to your office, or they have a question or other things. Closed door policy is a great thing. When you are focused on a task, it's not all day, it's an hour, half an hour or whatever. Have a sign on your door that do not disturb. I am focused on my task. Unless it's emergency, the building is on fire or somebody's bleeding and you're the one to save them, do not interrupt me or you're gonna get it. So turn them off. That's the best way to go. But here's the thing. You don't have to do that the whole day. You are going to choose, I'm going to work from, let's say, 9 to 10 on this task. So only on that time, turn off the applications, turn off the notifications and ask people not to disturb you. And after that, all of those things can come to the picture. You can catch up with them. And if you want to go for another focus time, do the same thing again. Another great way to use your focus time is to do your preparation first, then start the work. Preparation, one part of it is turning off all of these distractions, and number two is preparing your workplace. So if it's about writing on a piece of paper, have your notebook and pen, all of that ready, then start the clock. If it's working online, start your application, open your file, and this and that, then start the clock, as opposed to start the clock, then where is my Word file, where is, do I find it, and all of that. So do all of that before, so when the clock runs, you're in the work working. I hope that was helpful.
Right, very helpful, very, very helpful. I love how you were describing how people generally are with their work, how we approach our work, and it's gets to a point when it's funny, it's funny to look at ourselves and how we do things.
Yes.
And so some of the takeaways from that is literally it's funny because as we're doing this call, my phone beep about 3 times, right? Mm-hmm. Which is completely my fault for not turning that off.
Which one are we doing? Are we on the call or are we answering the phone? So
right. Yeah. So turn off all notifications.
Correct.
To avoid unnecessary distractions.
Yes.
The world will not end if you don't look at your phone.
No.
For half an hour, right?
Yeah. And as you just said, what we are really saying is it's not this distraction, it's you and how you allow distractions to distract you. As usual, we're our own worst enemy, we're on our own way. So it's just a little bit of a discipline to turn things off. Then you have no choice but to be focused, and choose your focus time in advance. I'm going to be focused for 30 minutes, for 42 minutes, for 50 minutes, whatever works for you. But have that and have a timer going on. So, until that timer rings, I am going to be focused.
Perfect. Well, that's a great answer to a common question about distractions. And really what you're saying is it's not about distraction, it's about how you manage your own environment and Correct. How, one really makes the decision whether to be distracted or not, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. I love this quadrant model, and we're actually going to share this on the Facebook page, correct?
Yes.
And we're going to also Kayvon, I'd love it if you can make it like a wallpaper or something, and we can send it out by email to all of our Unbusy Challenge participants.
Yeah, we can.
And so before we wrap up, I know that we have a couple of invitations for our listeners. Why don't you go ahead and start with yours? Yes.
What I offer is a clarification discovery call for people who find what I do helpful to them and they want to know more about it. At the bottom of the screen, I have my process: simplify, clarify, and commit. So it's entrepreneurial and commitment coaching. The 30-minute discovery and clarification call is complimentary, and that's how they can book that call on my calendar, something that works for them. So all they need to do is to go to thesoulfocus.com/now.
Perfect. Thank you.
And we start talking and I will learn more about you. And by the end of the call, you will have more clarity and more direction and I guess more actionable items on your list to improve your business.
Amazing. Thank you for offering that.
Yeah, my pleasure. And the next slide is your offer.
Great. So I am going to offer what I call the Conscious CEO Clarity Consult. Really, the Conscious CEO experience is about training and empowering entrepreneurs and business leaders to become more effective leaders, right? This is the softer side of business. And this conversation is 30 to 45 minutes, and it's going to zero in on what is your number one pain in the butt problem or challenge in your business. It could be about efficiency, or it could be about something else, right?
Yes.
And we're going to do a deep dive, and sometimes what you think the problem is not really the real problem. And so that's what this call is about. And we're going to turn that problem or challenge into your number one goal or solution that you will actually work on for the next 30 days. And why I'm doing this is because I recognize that, seeing so many other entrepreneurs and business leaders suffer, right? And one of the ways they suffer is because of stress and
yes,
they're approaching their work. There's also suffering as a result of what's going on in their consciousness and in their mindset and really in, how they're feeling about their business, right? And so I'm here to help you shift your consciousness by getting to the root of this problem and turning that into solutions that are integrated and that really sustain you as opposed to drain you, right? We want our business to be supportive rather than something that keeps taking from us, right?
Yeah, and I can vouch for that. The conversations that you and I had really helped me on what you just said about nurturing it and sustaining it. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So I have 3 spots in my calendar for the next 2 weeks, and how to claim this gift from me. I would be totally happy to be on this call with you. You can go to the consciousceoexperience.com/expression. And as soon as I get that form, which tells me a little bit more about you and your business, then we'll book your session in.
Okay.
All right. So any last words of wisdom or advice, Kayvon?
Take steps every day. They can be baby steps, but take at least one step every day.
Perfect. And I will end with success. Sometimes, doesn't look like all of a sudden you have $1 million in your bank account, which, I know a lot of entrepreneurs, they want to look at, okay, what's my monetary reward or result that I get? But sometimes success looks like doing the right things for that day, right? And so it's so important to just take that action, and and if you simply take persistent and consistent action and optimize your effectiveness and efficiency, then you'll get to where you need to go a lot faster and with a lot less stress. So thank you so much, Dr. Kayvon K, for joining
Thank you.
us. I am just delighted with what you had to share. I personally have gained so much from your tips and teachings, and I hope that a lot of our listeners and viewers, really take away something that is going to shift the way they do their business.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
Thank you, Rosalind. Okay.
Talk to you soon.
Take care.
Bye.